Well, hello again. It's Tuesday morning, and you got your coffee?
No.
No?
Hmm.
Oh,
No, I'm
I got my coffee.
I drank it. I'm leaving for work as soon as we're done with the show. So, yeah.
You'll catch coffee there.
Maybe. Yeah. Today's one of those busy days.
Yeah. Well, every day is a busy day, either at work or at home.
Allegedly, yeah.
But hey, just we've been getting headlines here in Texas lately about some of our sporting franchises are moving, and very often they're moving out of their downtown locations out to the burbs,
Yeah.
and all. And I got mixed emotions about this for a lot of reasons. Number one, I'm from Chicago, and right now we have had at least a year-long controversy about the Chicago Bears relocating to Indiana. Uh,
Ugh,
that was one. They were going to move from
no.
Soldier Field in Chicago, either up to near the Wisconsin border in Arlington Park, because there was an old abandoned racetrack up there, or they were talking about going to Indiana, which
Ew.
which Gary, Indiana would be thrilled, because that place is just a pit right now, and they've got an abandoned airport and an abandoned convention center, but they're offering a lot of good deals, and that's what these teams are all doing. They're looking for the best deals that's going to be less out of their pocket. But I cannot even imagine how the Chicago Bears could be located in another state and still be called the Chicago Bears.
They won't be. They won't be called the Chicago Bears.
I mean,
They
are
will
they
they
going to
will
start being
change.
called the Indiana Bears? I
No,
mean,
they won't even be the Bears. They won't even be the Bears anymore.
that doesn't make sense, though. It is one of the two oldest franchises in the NFL, and they're still going back and forth. And I think the bottom line is they're just waiting for Illinois, Chicago to pony up the money to help them redo Soldier Field, because that would make the most sense to me. But here in Dallas, our basketball team, which has been going downhill, I think ever since what's his name sold it.
Hey,
Uh,
they did it to
they, they they
themselves.
shot themselves, right?
Yeah, when Luca got traded, they went downhill. Probably going to go down in history. We're going to watch an ESPN highlight 10 years from now of one of the dumbest moves in the Dallas in sports history is
Yeah.
Luca being traded. Then the Mavericks started to lose. Crappy team. Now they're leaving AAC, American Airlines Center. And check this out. Here's the thing that's crazy to me. The reasoning behind it is what we're being told, or what we're being told anyway, is they need to upgrade it. It's not to the capacity of the fans' experience. It's not doing with the technology. Guys, that arena is only like 25 years old.
Yeah.
American Airlines Center is only 25 years old, 26 years old.
And since that terrible trade, they're not filling the stadium. I mean, they're selling tickets, but they are not filling out the stadium that they got. But they want to relocate to a new area, a new
We're
arena.
they're talking about, here's what's crazy. This is crazy to me. Because the American Airlines Center was also home to the Dallas Stars.
Yeah,
Now the Dallas Stars are going for $1 billion arena in Plano, Texas. Not Dallas, Texas,
right.
Plano. The Mavs are now leaving. All that area there, the bars, the restaurants, your $1 million apartments, your $500,000 lease
Right.
apartments around. What's the point? What the epicenter? When you think about Dallas, we like the idea of a downtown, right? We love the idea of a
Sure.
real city. Dallas is dying. It is dying. And we can, I'm not saying there's not stuff to do, but you don't have an epicenter. Those franchise teams, what are you going to do? Fill it with concerts? Not every artist can fill American Airlines Center, and with the prices of tickets for concerts,
Yeah.
what are you going to do?
Well, and keep in mind that that was one of the reasons that a lot of those people bought up those condos and everything in the
Yes.
downtown areas. Same thing in Chicago, Detroit, all the major cities. The people don't want to have to drive. They can now live and have access to all these great restaurants and venues for sports and for entertainment and now they leave uh and it's for all the wrong reasons. And they're also rolling the dice as to whether this is going to be profitable for them. I got to tell you, as a Chicagoan, if they moved up to Arlington Park and everything, the Wisconsin people will go to see the Bears play. And all they because those are the people that it was too far for them to drive into the city to go see the game. And Indiana, I'm not so sure because Indiana
No.
is not strong enough economically to support a new stadium like that.
Especially Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana, no offense. I don't even care. Y'all know it. Gary, Indiana has been a cesspool for how long now? It smells like
Yeah, I
crap.
mean it's been in ruins, and for that reason, that's why they're saying, "Here, take the land. It's yours. We'll give you
It
the
ain't.
land. We'll lease it to you for $1 a year, and now you can build whatever you want on it."
The
And
difference,
they think people are going to get on the commuter trains, and they're going to travel from Chicago to go to the games. Initially, maybe yeah, but it ain't going to be sustained.
the thing about Chicago is I don't agree with them leaving, period. So I'm with you on that. But at least with Chicago, Chicago still has a functional downtown despite all its issues. You still have really two baseball teams. Well, one and a half. I don't like the White Sox. And you still got you've got other things going on. Dallas doesn't have the Mavericks, doesn't have the Rangers, which that's fine. The Rangers have, doesn't
Yeah,
have the Cowboys. Look, you lost FC Dallas years ago when before they were even called FC Dallas. You lost them, and you didn't think that was a big deal. Fast forward to 15, 16 years later, it is a big deal. FC Dallas is in Frisco, 45 to 50 minutes based on traffic outside of the city.
right.
Okay. The Cowboys built an entire freaking stadium in Arlington. I happen to hate Arlington. I hate driving out there.
Yeah.
It's awful, but they're there.
Yeah. Well, but this has happened over the years, and probably the NFL is the biggest one because if you take almost all of the current teams, they all came from someplace else. I mean, the Indianapolis Colts used to be the Baltimore Colts.
Yeah.
The Los Angeles Rams used to be the St. Louis Rams. The Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals, also were in St. Louis and in Chicago before that. The Baltimore Ravens, that was the Cleveland Browns franchise, and then they moved out, and then the Browns came back. Good Lord, it
Well,
goes
the
it
thing
goes
is,
on and on
though,
that these teams just leave cities, and then those cities are without that major league team for a while, but then they reinvent it.
this happened with Detroit, not them leaving, but this happened with Detroit. I mean, my whole life growing up until before I moved, essentially, you know, the Tigers played at Old Tiger Stadium. That was the only team. The Pistons were gone. The Red Wings were down there, but it was rough. The Red Wings were there, but it was rough. The Lions were gone down in Pontiac at a crappy Silverdome.
Yeah,
And there was a talk when Tiger Stadium was getting destroyed, what was going to happen with the Detroit Tigers. Now, thank God Detroit said, no, 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 we're going to be Detroit. We need our teams in the city now. You got the Pistons and the Wings playing together in a beautiful, beautiful arena. You got the Tigers at Comerica right across the street. You got Ford Field for the Lions right across the street. It's an epicenter. They are all around it. You are hanging out in clubs bars, restaurants, shopping, arts. That's what draws you to the city. And
But
yeah,
yeah,
for a guy, for people like us living in the suburbs, maybe going to Plano to see a Stars game is easier than going to Dallas, but it doesn't feel right. You know what I mean?
yeah. And especially, when the team is named for the city and then
I
they
hate
move
that.
to the burbs, you
I
know,
hate that.
you
I
know,
hate it.
are they going to become the Plano Stars?
Probably not. No,
Or,
no. But
at least at least the only upside, at least to the Texas Rangers, is it's called
it's
Texas, not
Texas.
the Dallas Rangers,
Yes.
the Texas Rangers,
And
like
that's
the
fine.
Florida Panthers.
I
You
don't
know,
mind. I guess I just get, and I know it's in a lot of other cities, but I think these major metropolitan cities have a lot to look at. They have to look in the mirror. Dallas has a lot to look in the mirror because let me tell you something. Dallas is not easy to work with. Speaking from a company that is about to build in Dallas, like Dallas proper, they have this attitude of we don't need you, we
yeah.
don't want you. You should just be grateful we're allowing you
Yeah.
to come to our
You
city.
you make us an offer we can't refuse.
And I'm like, bro, you don't have anything. Deep Ellum is dying. Restaurants are fleeing. Sports teams are fleeing. You don't have what draws me to Dallas? I can only go to the JFK Museum once, okay?
Yeah. One of my favorite franchise moves that I think was one of the dumbest around was when New Orleans had the New Orleans Jazz basketball team.
Great.
Great name for a team in New Orleans.
Perfect.
What do they
Perfect.
do? They move to Utah, and they're still called the Utah Jazz and all. And then many, many years later, New Orleans says, we really should have a team here in New Orleans. So they start another team and they call themselves the Pelicans.
What? I know. Shouldn't they just be called the Utah Mormons?
Yeah, yeah. Or the Utah Utes,
I mean,
like
when I think of jazz, I sure don't think of Utah.
yeah, that's right. Don't you can't tell me that there are jazz clubs all around their stadium.
Right, right. I just
Maybe
no.
churches. Yes, churches.
I don't get it. I don't. I think that Dallas is in trouble. I think it's a sign of the times. I also, it's a combination of billionaires. And the way I look at it is this. Yeah, Dallas sucks to work with. But the Mavs realize that they need something to spark interest in their team right now because it sure ain't the
Yeah,
players. It sure
sure.
ain't the organization. It sure ain't going to the AAC. So they're like, you know what? If we get a new stadium, people will want to come check it out, and they will. We'll complain about it, but people want to go check it out, and you can draw more concerts and ooh, we can get some money, and then we could get some players, and then that's what they're doing. It's corrupt. It's also the city's fault too, but God, I don't. I think it's a big blow to Dallas, I think if the Bears leave Chicago, that's going to be on the same highlight reel as trading Luca.
You and especially at a time when the Bears are really a growing
They're
franchise.
growing.
They are becoming a contender. And now
Yes.
you want to take that contender that potentially can bring that Super Bowl championship back to Chicago, and you're going to do it at a time when it's going to be they're going to become the Indiana champions, the Indiana Bears.
Nobody cares about Indiana.
Mm, no.
Um,
And I'm from
Indiana's,
Indiana, folks. I wear the Chicago hat because I'm from the Chicagoland area, but I was born and raised in Indiana. And I
I
can tell
know.
you that the area they're looking into is just it's dead.
Well, Indiana, that part of Indiana, Gary, is where you go drop the bodies. Okay? Because nobody goes there.
Even Tony Soprano wouldn't go there.
You drive through, you don't roll the laughing joke about Gary was when I was traveling through it, you never roll the windows down
Right.
because it smells so bad. And it's true.
Look, I grew up in that.
That's
It wasn't
awful.
until I graduated from college and moved out of Indiana that I realized that the sky was really blue. It
Yeah.
was always gray when I was growing up.
You're looking like you're living in Gotham City without Batman.
Yeah.
It's Look, final thoughts, because I'm already late to work.
Okay.
Um, what are you gonna do? Uh, if Chicago, and I don't think they're leaving Illinois. Let me say that first. I don't think so. If they leave, I got a two-part question. If they leave Illinois, will you still support the team? Number two, if they leave Chicago and go to Arlington, will they still draw the same amount of people?
No, they won't. Season tickets for Bears fans, they are willed to their children, generation after generation, and everything. I got a feeling you're going to see some abandonment. People are going to say, "That's it. I'll watch them on TV, but I'm not going to travel all the way up to Arlington to go to the games." The people that are in South Wisconsin are going to say, "Hey, I'm going." And so you're not going to have that fan base from Illinois. You're going to draw it from another state.
Yeah, yeah, agreed.
I mean,
Well,
you got to ask yourself when they're
will you
when
still support him?
I'll watch them, but my support will not be as strong as it was.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Well,
So anyhow,
I yeah,
that's the way we see it, and we're that's our story, and we're sticking to it.
that's right.
All right. Catch you again next week. We don't know what we're going to talk about yet, but we'll be here 8 o'clock on Tuesday morning. Go out and make it a good one. Bye.